United Kingdom, 2 pence coin, 1988, Queen Elizabeth II. The 1988 2 pence, 2p, coin of the United Kingdom is a small but significant artifact of late 20th century British history. Though modest in denomination, it reflects centuries of monetary evolution, the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, technological shifts in minting, and the economic climate of Britain in the 1980s. This article explores the full historical, political, artistic, and economic context of the 1988 2p coin, offering a comprehensive study of its background and legacy. The historical evolution of British coinage. To understand the 1988 2p coin, we must first examine the deep roots of British coinage. 1. Medieval foundations. British coinage traces back to Anglo-Saxon times. Silver pennies were the dominant currency for centuries. The concept of pence has existed in Britain for over 1,200 years, making it one of the oldest continuous monetary units in the world. During medieval times, coins were hammered by hand and made primarily of silver. The pound originally represented a pound weight of silver. 2. Decimalization of 1971. The modern 2p coin exists because of decimalization. On February 15, 1971, Decimal Day, the United Kingdom transitioned from the old system, pounds, shillings, and pence, to a decimal system of 100 pence per pound. Before decimalization, 1 pound equals 20 shillings. 1 shilling equals 12 pence. 1 pound equals 240 pence. After decimalization, 1 pound equals 100 new pence. The 2p coin was introduced in 1971 as part of this new system. It replaced the older fractional values that were no longer practical. 2. Queen Elizabeth II and her coinage portraits. Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II reigned from 1952 to 2022, making her the longest reigning British monarch. Her portrait appeared on British coins for 7 decades. By 1988, the coin featured the third portrait of Elizabeth II. The Makhlouf portrait, 1985 to 1997. The 1988 2p coin bears the portrait designed by Raphael Makhlouf. This portrait was used from 1985 until 1997. Characteristics. The Queen wears the George IV state diadem. The portrait is more mature and regal compared to earlier depictions. The inscription reads, Elizabeth I Un, DG Reg FD, 1988. This Latin abbreviation stands for De Gratia Regina Fide Defensor. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The portrait symbolizes continuity and constitutional monarchy in a rapidly modernizing world. 3. Design of the reverse, the portcullis. The reverse of the 1988 2p coin features the badge of the Palace of Westminster. Palace of Westminster. Symbolism of the portcullis. The portcullis is a medieval gate made of heavy iron bars that could be lowered to protect castles. It became a symbol of Parliament and British governance, meaning strength and protection. Democratic authority. Constitutional heritage. The inscription on the reverse reads, 2 pence. Until 2008, the wording was new pensy on earlier coins, but by 1988, it simply read 2 pence. Ivor, composition and technical specifications. The 1988 2p coin marks an important material transition. Change in metal composition. Originally, 2p coins, 1971 to 1991, were made of bronze. 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, 0.5% tin. However, due to rising copper prices in the late 1980s and early 1990s, production later shifted to copper-plated steel, starting 1992. The 1988 coin is therefore one of the later solid bronze 2p coins before the material change. Specifications: 1988 2p. Diameter: 25.9 millimeters. Weight: 7.12 grams. Shape: round. Edge: plain. Composition: bronze. Mint: Royal Mint. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, Wales since 1968, produced the coin. V. Britain in 1988. Political and economic context. The coin reflects its era. Margaret Thatcher. In 1988, Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister. Britain was experiencing significant economic and political change. Key context of 1988. Economic liberalization. Thatcher's policies focused on privatization and deregulation. Financial growth. The Big Bang financial reforms of 1986 reshaped the City of London. Rising inflation. Late 1980s, inflation began increasing again. European integration debates. The UK was deeply engaged in European community discussions. The 2p coin circulated widely during this period of modernization, symbolizing everyday economic exchange in Thatcherite Britain. C. Circulation and purchasing power in 1988. In 1988, 2 pence had modest but real value. Typical prices in 1988. A newspaper, 30 to 35p. A loaf of bread, 40 and 50p. A first-class stamp, 19p. 2 pence could contribute toward bus fares, buy small sweets, be used in payphones or vending machines. The coin was part of daily British life. DC. Numismatic significance. Is the 1988 2p coin rare? Mintage. Approximately 417 million 2p coins were minted in 1988. This makes it common in circulation. Collector value. In circulated condition. Face value, 2p. In uncirculated condition, slight premium, often less than £1. However, errors or unusual variations may be collectible. Comparison to rare 2p coins. Some rare 2p coins include 1983 New Pensy era coins, 1992 to 1998 Transitional Metal Errors. The 1988 coin is not rare, but is historically representative. 8. The 2008 redesign and legacy. In 2008, the reverse design of British coins changed. Instead of individual symbols, coins collectively form the royal shield. The 2p coin now shows a segment of the royal shield, not the portcullis. This makes pre-2008 coins like the 1988 version part of a completed design era. Knight. Cultural meaning. Though small, the 2p coin represents constitutional monarchy, parliamentary democracy, economic modernization, everyday British identity. Coins are miniature monuments. They pass through millions of hands and silently witness history. The 1988 2p coin existed during the Cold War's final years. Rapid financial globalization. The technological shift toward digital banking, yet it remains a tangible physical artifact of that moment. Ex-Queen Elizabeth II's broader coinage legacy. Elizabeth II appeared on more coins than any monarch in history. Her image evolved across decades, reflecting aging and stability. By 1988, she had reigned 36 years. Her image on the coin conveyed stability amid political change, continuity of British institutions, national identity. Coins serve as state-approved portraits of power. The 1988 2p coin is part of this long tradition. Line. Manufacturing process. The minting process in 1988 involved metal strip production, blanking, cutting round discs, dapting gilling, mark inicius, striking under high pressure, quality inspection. Bronze coins have a distinctive warm color and ring when dropped. After 1992, copper-plated steel coins could be distinguished using a magnet. Dord's Night, the end of the Bronze Era. Because 1988 coins were solid bronze, they belonged to the final years before composition change. Rising copper prices created a situation where the metal value approached or exceeded face value in later years. Thus, the 1988 2p represents traditional bronze minting, pre-steel era, a closing chapter in British metallic coinage. 30. Historical comparison to earlier pence. The word pence links directly to Anglo-Saxon silver pennies. Over centuries. Silver pennies, medieval. Copper pennies, 18th to 19th century. Bronze pennies, 1860 onward. Decimal pence, 1971 onward. The 1988 2p coin is the modern descendant of a millennium of monetary evolution. Grethur. Conclusion. The 1988 2 pence coin of the United Kingdom may appear ordinary, but it embodies deep historical meaning. Featuring Queen Elizabeth II's Makhluk portrait and the parliamentary portcullis, it represents monarchy, democracy, and economic change in late 20th century Britain. Struck in solid bronze by the Royal Mint during the era of Margaret Thatcher, it circulated in a transforming society, one balancing tradition and modernization. Today, the coin remains common and modest in monetary value. Yet as a historical object, it tells a rich story of Britain's political stability, artistic evolution, and economic transformation during 1988.